to the extent that they want to get to where nobody can get to, and not for the ordinary people.
Yes, because those are the types of experiences that it's a once in a lifetime, and very few people can say, I went deep down to see the Titanic.
Yes, and if you look at the distance they have to travel, it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy at all.
I've been so sad keeping up with the stories, and in fact, there was a countdown for the amount of oxygen that they had left.
Yes.
And what experts are saying, well, what I've seen on the internet is that the submarine had imploded long time, the pressures, and you can't open it from inside. It can only be opened from outside. And what's quite interesting is the gentleman who directed the film Titanic, before he even became a director, he was a deep diving explorer, and he's had many years of experience deep diving, submarine, submersive vessels, submersive vehicles, and he said this is not something that you just go willy-nilly without experience. He said he juxtaposed it to the invention or the advent of the aeroplane, that it took so many years for them to perfect it, and that's where they still are with the ocean. More of space has been explored than the ocean. Ocean, dear.
The Ocean Gate is doing well with this kind of expedition, and I think that this is a big loss to them. Big loss. And it's a lesson to all who want to engage in such an adventure.
It's not a lesson to me. I can't pay 250,000 K to go under the water. You can't even pay me, Misro.
No, people have
deep down.
A lot of people have the money to pay, but they lack the courage to embark on such an adventure.
Yes.
The sea is so huge and enormous to the extent that it is like 4 times the size of this piece of land that we are living on.
Yes.
I get to the point. And I don't know if it's scientific, but I've always had this intuitive, knowledge that the sea is on the surface, underneath, and above.
Even above us.
Yes. That is, if the world is indeed spherical, then there's a huge probability that even on top of us. I've heard stories of rain, when they experience rain and they see fishes, dropping from the. Yeah, I've heard stories like that.
Wow.
I don't know how true those stories are, but one will say, would they even hear us? Our condolences to the family. Adventure is very, very good, and there are some people who are born to survive such adventures and such, disasters. There's this guy who survived the Titanic, and before the Titanic, he has survived another. So it's life. It's life. It's painful though, but Charlie.
What a way to go deep in the ocean.
Yeah, but it's a nice way to die too.
I don't think so.
But it's a nice way to die.
Deep in the ocean.
Yeah, something must kill a man. The only thing is that whatever they saw there
is what we want to know.
Remains with them. That is the only problem I have. I wish they could come and tell us the things they saw.
We'll be following this one. I'm sure all of you are still glued to social media. If the remains or the wreckage will be pulled up to shore, let's see.
I'm not sure they'll bring the wreckage back to shore. They'll rather try to keep it there.
Like the Titanic is there.
Yes, and get people to go and
down.
watch.
By that time, things would have been perfected, and they've laid down their lives for others to learn lessons to not repeat.
The first vehicle that was manufactured, they didn't have a wiper until it started raining and snowing.
That's true. Many cars didn't have seat belts until when?
Yeah.
Well, the last newspaper here is the Ghanaian Observer. Ghanaians have endorsed Bawumia. Let's vote for him. NPP leader. One NPP leader started as having said Parliament pays tribute to Asamoah Gyan Akufo-Addo to open Maiden Africa Energy Technology Conference and major boost for STEM education. So that's what we have on the front pages. Let's dive deep into some of these stories. This one I found quite interesting, and it's splashed across the different pages. Taxes on sanitary pads unfair, Speaker of Parliament asserts, and we've been talking about that at different points on the 3FM Sunrise Morning Show. Now, the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, has expressed strong abhorrence at the imposition of taxes on sanitary pads in the country. He described the passage of laws by Parliament to impose the tax on sanitary pads as unconscionable and a cardinal sin. This House should not have allowed it at all. The impact of that law on human resource development and the development of this country is immeasurable. He observed that some taxes on sanitary pads are at the 12.5% value added tax and 20% import duty. Addressing Parliament yesterday, Mr. Bagbin said, "Why should we pass a law imposing tax on sanitary pads? We have to take immediate action to prevent whoever is the minister and is proposing it to take it off." The Speaker expressed those sentiments to members of the House when he informed the House of a petition he had received from civil society and non-profit organizations who called themselves the Socialist Movement of Ghana, who had picketed the premises of Parliament yesterday. He subsequently suspended sitting for 10 minutes to go and receive the petition from the group. So the calls to scrap the taxes on sanitary pads still go on. I'm lending my voice to that call now. I don't know why I should be taxed because I bleed every month. It's causing the young girls to fall into bad ways, into the hands of predators, because of how expensive it is now to buy a sanitary pad, and men are taking advantage of our younger sisters and cousins and all of that. It is unsanitary. Girls lose out on school days, on school time, on learning time because of this. The repercussions are endless. It's a rippling effect. Remove the taxes on sanitary pads. It is unfair.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is unfair to put taxes on such a commodity, but the AGI is also opposing the removal of tax on imported
sanitary pads, and that is also something that we have to look at.
Yes, and I think that is an area that we need to really invest into. Sanitary pads and those diapers, I think that the one district one factory, some people can take it upon themselves to manufacture them. I've been to some shops and I've tried to look at the country of origin of most of the products there, and unfortunately there are some, you hear the name, you see the name, maybe Efia, thinking if you're there, oh, this is a Ghanaian product, and you look at it and it's from Brazil, it's from China. And so I think that government should really empower the local producers to produce local,
and that is a major key.
Yeah, this is something that has constant market.
That's right.
It has constant market. So government should look at it, and then let's see the balance, because if majority of those products are imported, and still AGI wants the taxes to remain, that means that the price will continue to stay like that.
That is right.
So let's have the local production grow to meet the demand, and then we can look at phasing out the imported ones.
I agree with that. And because there are some local producers who are doing it already and doing a great job. They have different variants, herbal and all of that, and I think it's a step in the right direction.
And the danger of not handling the menstruation period well, in a hygienic way, goes beyond the individual person who is going through that period.
That's right.
Assuming there's someone who helps somebody to sell wache, your favorite wache, and the person is not having access to the sanitary pad, and the person is not able to handle herself well at that time of the month.
That's, as I said, the repercussions are far-reaching. It's not just on the individual.
So I side with the Honorable Bagbin.
Yes.
I think that there's a call in the right direction.
But I think that added perspective is also really, really what is going to also help us. Local production across the board. And let's bring some of the prices down. If it's imported, yes, of course, it will attract that extra fee. But let's move on to some more stories.
Okay, so there's this sad story on the front page of the Daily Guide. Cop shot dead in daylight bullion van robbery. I don't know why they call it a bullion van. You see, cash in transit, the export, or escort for cash in transit is very, very specialized. It's a specialized area in terms of security. And I don't know the kind of training they've given to the drivers and the police or security officers on board those vehicles. Anytime you are moving with money, you have exposed your life to threats. That's such as what has happened to the police officer. Sometimes you look at some of them as they are in traffic. They will be watching their phone. I'm not saying that this was the situation with what happened.
Got it.
But what I've seen.
This is those who are supposed to be in the cash and transit vans.
Yes.
Okay.
You see them on phone. And again, we made this argument. We said it that those vehicles are not security friendly.
They are not fit for purpose.
If the police officer is even holding the AK-47 and sitting in the front seat, there's no space enough for him to even point his gun and aim and shoot. And again, I watched the CCTV footage of this particular one.
That's right.
How the robbers ran, the guy opened
the officer's door. And before he could even, based on the video, before it looked as if he could even grab his weapon, the deed was done.
So he was taken by surprise.
That's right.
So normally, for your personal security, whether it is daytime or evening time or night or at dawn, when you are riding, when you are driving, you lock your doors.
That's right.
So if the doors were locked, the robber, in attempting to open it, will create an alert for the policeman to also,
it can buy him some time to quickly.
Yes, because when you pull it and it's not open, you are going to fire though, but there's a probability that you will not hit the man. But this one, just open it easily and fired.
And with what I at the time was described when the directive was given by the Bank of Ghana to ensure that only special bullion vans were given, they said that these are soft-shelled or soft-skinned cash and transit vans, so maybe no even outer protection with the glass. If they fire into the vehicle, it will make an impact.
Yes. So that we have to take this serious. Other than that, we will continue to lose people. So I'm hoping that the police will be able to find the perpetrators and bring them to book. And anyone who has information should volunteer. But if you have information, I beg you, if you have information about a criminal or any criminal activity, don't go and tell another person, oh, DJ Abiam, I've seen that this microphone is an armed robber. I'm going to report the microphone to the police. Don't do that. If you want to go and report, if you want to be a whistleblower, if you want to say something when you've seen something,
right?
I beg you, don't discuss with anybody. Go straight to wherever you are supposed to go and lodge the complaint. Period.
Well, some more here in the Ghanaian Times. This one caught my attention. It's on the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Germans to return looted artifacts to the people in Akpini in Kpando. Again, on page 11. There have been calls by the international community for certain countries to return looted artifacts and money to where they took it from. The German government has agreed to repatriate artifacts seized by the Germans during the colonial days from the people of Akpini traditional area in Kpando from the Volta region. The artifacts, which are being kept in a museum in Berlin and were taken from the people somewhere 1880, including drums, amulets, headdress, ceramic vessels, and 2 ivory horns built with human jaws and bones. They said they're going to return all of those things. To this end, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other state agencies, as well as the traditional leaders of Akpini, are planning the repatriation process as some traditional rites